So I get a lot of questions about REITs, which are real estate investment trust. And I love them because it's an easy way, a low cost way to supplement my income and make passive income so that I don't have to get another job. So in this video, I'm going to highlight 4 things: what REITs are in detail, 2, how they differ from traditional real estate investing, 3, how do I earn money from them? Like, what's the funding process look like? And then 4, I'm going to highlight some of the benefits. And just know that this is part 1 of a 2-part series around REITs, specifically private REITs with Fundrise. So number 1, what are REITs? REITs are real estate investment trusts. And I like to explain them as shares of real estate, just like you may own shares of a Google, a Facebook, a Apple. Certain company shares pay out dividends, and dividends are basically payments that shareholders receive, usually on a quarterly basis, for owning or putting their money into a company, because ultimately that company is using that money to grow. So as they report out on their earnings, usually you get a portion of that, depending on how many shares you own. The process is similar with the REITs, but the biggest difference is that REITs are required to put out more money, basically. So that's the company share process. Usually, you know, the is it called the earnings point? I'll put what I'm trying to think of. I think it's price to something. I have to look online. But usually that percentage is low versus with private REITs or even public REITs, which are also on the stock market. These companies are required to provide 90% of the revenue to the investors. Like me, I'm an investor, and hopefully you will be by the end of this video. So that's a big core differentiator. That's not the case with these other companies. They can determine how much they pay you in dividends. With REITs, it's required by law that 90% of the revenue goes to investors. And again, I'm an investor. You will be an investor. I'm just going to go ahead and speak life into you right now. So like this video, please, while I continue to go on, and comment and subscribe, and let's keep going. 2 is how do they differ from traditional real estate investing? So I am a homeowner and an investor. Like, I own real property, which means that I can go and touch it myself. I had to save a down payment. I had to have closing costs, and it was a long process, inspections, all of that kind of stuff. So that is the traditional way of real estate investing and obviously owning a home. But with REITs, again, they offer a different experience. It's very hands-off. It's very much like owning company shares. Like, I can't really explain it any deeper than that. And honestly, that's a benefit. So like, if I want to jump into like, what are the benefits of this? Number 1, it is a hands-off experience. You don't have to go through the inspection process. You don't have to have your credit ran. You don't have to save for a down payment. You don't have to actually go out and pick the property. You know, like, REITs often are chosen for you based on your investing goals. So if you want to make more money on the front end, you would consider a certain REIT versus, you know, wanting to invest and get the money later, you might consider something differently. So, you know, hands off is the biggest benefit for me because I have other things to do. We all do. We're working, we got kids, all this kind of stuff. 2 is that it's low cost. So if you think about the price of buying a home that you live in or that you put renters in, or flip, you know, it costs a lot of money, whether you're getting that from a lender or not. There's a lot of leverage required. With REITs, you can, especially with Fundrise, and I have a link in the description to Fundrise below, my referral code that will give you $50 off your account if it's new, which means that you're starting with $50 versus $10. I done lost my train of thought. So it's low cost, meaning that you don't have to have thousands of dollars saved. When I opened my Fundrise account to start investing in REITs, I started with $500. And since then, they have lowered the barrier to entry to just $10. Do I recommend you start with $10? No, because how much money are you going to really make with $10? Like, I don't think the goal is to get rich here, but the goal is to make a profit. But you have to invest to actually get to that profit. So my recommendation when people ask me is to start with 100. You know, you put in 100, you get the $50 from my referral code. Again, that's linked in the description. So you're starting with $150, and then you just continue to log in, monitor your experience, and then continue to add more. Like, that's literally what I did. It wasn't rocket science. Like, they make it super easy for you. So those are, I think, the two biggest benefits for me, which leads to my fourth and final point of this video. Again, this is part 1 of 2, so subscribe if you haven't already, and like this video, because I want to make sure you get part 2 to this, which will be coming out next week. Is like, how do I earn money from this? So, or how can I earn money from this? And there's 2 ways that you can earn money. Number 1 is dividends. So the same way that company shares, or companies like Apple and Google and stuff. Well, actually, I don't know if they pay dividends. I know that Target pays dividends because I have shares in Target. I know that, who else pays dividends? Zoom. I feel like I've gotten some from Zoom as well. Every company doesn't pay dividends. That's what I'm trying to say. But you will always get dividends when you invest in REITs, no matter if you have a full equity-based portfolio or not. So you can get dividends, which basically means that these properties they're income producing, meaning that they have tenants in there. And these properties can be residential properties such as, apartment buildings, single-family homes, duplexes. They can be mixed use, which will be those high rises that have apartments on top and nail salons and bodegas on the bottom, or it can be commercial, which can be like office buildings, which is, what a lot of us used to go to prior to the pandemic. So because it's a combination of all of those, and you pick your portfolio based on what your goals are, you're always going to get something. Now, how much that is depends on how much you invest and what your goals are, but that's the dividend route. It's income producing, meaning that there are people residing or occupying that space and paying rent of some sort. Again, whether it's residential or commercial or mixed use. On the other side is appreciation. So appreciation is the name of the game. Like, that's literally why most people invest in real estate, because land often appreciates in value. It's rare for land not to appreciate in value, especially when you add improvements to the land. So say you buy land and it's only worth $50,000, but once you put a home on it, it's going to be worth $300,000, $400,000, $1 million, depending on where you live, New York or California. So as that land and those improvements appreciate in value, that could benefit you as an investor if you decide to opt into appreciation-based portfolios, meaning that you don't need a lot of your money right now. There may not be a tenant in there. They may be building these buildings, but later on in life, once they do finish building and they put tenants in there, you're going to make more money because the land has likely appreciated in value from when they purchased it to when they've actually improved it, like offered the market improvements, which means that they've built on it with, homes and office buildings and stuff like that. So a tip that I like to say is drive around your city and look at the developments that are happening. Like, I can drive across the street and see that there are new homes being built. I can drive down the street and see that there is a whole apartment complex being built. Like, this is something that is happening whether you invest or not. It's happening, which is why I always want to put this information out, because people think that there is so much that goes into investing in real estate, and it can be depending on what route you go. But I want to offer you all a way to make money passively, get your feet wet with real estate without feeling like you have to own it free and clear. You're one of thousands of people that invest in this, and that's really one reason why I love it. It's low risk, it's low cost, and it's hands off. Like, what more do you want from a passive investment? So let me know if you want me to highlight how much I've made from REITs in the description. In the comment section, because I can walk you through that. I feel like I'm never really sure what to share, but hopefully this helps you. So just to recap, I highlighted, what REITs are, how they differ from traditional real estate investing, and the benefits of them, as well as how you can earn money. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And again, part 2 to this video will be out next week, where I will talk about how it impacted my home buying journey, how interest rates, have impacted these REITs, And then I'm going to highlight a few more benefits that you need to know about. So see you then.